What if gravity still works in a vacuum chamber here on Earth? Not because gravity is an intrinsic fundamental force of nature, but because the vacuum chamber is still located inside of Earth's atmospheric pressure system. Now, before you say, so what and why should I care? Because the moment we understand what's actually causing gravity, we can start engineering it. And that's when things like real levitating flying cars, hoverboards, and cities in the sky stop being science fiction and actually become science fact. I mean, sci-fi is cool and all, but aren't you tired of just watching it? Instead, wouldn't you like to experience it, maybe live in a world that looks like it? So, in my acoustic gravitic theory, or AGT for short, I propose that what we call gravity isn't a pulling force from below justified with because science, but something that must have a real testable cause and effect. This leads me to my hypothesis, in which I propose that gravity is an emergent effect caused by measurable pressure gradients formed by wave propagation through a medium as part of a large coupled system, magnetohydrodynamic waves in the plasma of space, and acoustic waves in planetary atmospheres like here on Earth. Now, think about what a vacuum chamber actually does. It reduces the local density of air, sometimes to extremely low levels, especially closer to those of in space, but it doesn't completely eliminate the system. But more importantly, it doesn't remove the chamber from Earth's larger pressure system. You're still inside that system, and that's what matters. Even at low densities, wave behavior doesn't stop. It becomes weaker and less coupled to the medium. Even in a vacuum, objects still accelerate at 9.8 meters per second squared, which shows the underlying mechanism hasn't been removed. Removing the local medium doesn't remove the system. It just reduces drag. You didn't remove the cause, you just reduced the resistance. So the mechanism producing the consistent downward acceleration is still there, just with reduced resistance. Now, compare that to the ISS. Inside the station, there's still air pressure, but the environment outside the station is completely different from that of the surface of the Earth. Mainstream physics calls it microgravity from continuous free fall. But what that explanation doesn't address is the surrounding medium. The structured vertical pressure gradient experienced on Earth isn't present there in the same way, and the result is weightlessness. Same physics, different conditions. That is exactly what my section 1.6 of my acoustic gravitic theory is designed to test. The first experiment is a modified Cavendish setup, not just to measure attraction, but to see if a controlled phase interaction can reduce or alter that effect. The second is what I call a vertical infrasound gradient array, which measures pressure changes with height in a consistent direction. The third focuses on whether these effects track with environmental conditions in a measurable way. This isn't science fiction, it's testable, measurable, and repeatable.